Lesson 15. We had spoken earlier about a woman of Samaria who came to draw water, and I was in the middle of some comments. Uh, question was asked, how is it that you, being a Jew, ask a drink from me, a Samaritan woman? Immediately, the woman was impressed by Jesus' friendliness, and it was unusual for her to hear a kind greeting from a Jewish man, probably unheard of, for generally speaking, Jews had no dealings with the Samaritans. Verses 10 through 15 say that Jesus answered and said to her, if you knew the gift of God and who it is who says to you, give me a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water. The woman said to him, Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where then do you get that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us the well and drank from it himself, as well as his sons and his livestock? In ancient times, they called spring water living water because it seemed alive as it bubbled up from the ground. At a glance, it might seem that Jesus told this woman about a nearby active spring, but not really. Jesus made a play on words with the phrase living water because he meant that the spiritual water that quenches thirst and gives life is what he was offering. So in verses 13 through 15, Jesus goes on. Jesus answered and said to her, whoever drinks of this water will thirst again, but whoever drinks of the water that I shall give him will never thirst. But the water that I shall give him will become in him a fountain of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman said to him, Sir, give me this water that I may not thirst, nor come here to draw. Someone might object, I drank of what water Jesus offered me, and now I'm thirsty and I'm empty again. The answer to their problem is simple: drink again. Just as we continually get thirsty, we need to drink from the spiritual water more than one time. Uh, we need to have a continual connection with the Lord. How do we drink of the spiritual water over and over again? Just like we're doing right now. Reading God's Word regularly, talking to Him in prayer regularly. So in verses 16 through 19, it says, Jesus said to her, Go, call your husband and come here. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said to her, You have well said, I have no husband, for you have had 5 husbands, and the one with whom you now have is not your husband. In that you spoke truly. The woman said to him, Sir, I perceive that you are a prophet. No kidding. Jesus brought up this embarrassing issue because her sinful life had to be confronted. This woman had to decide what she loved more, her sin or having a relationship with the Messiah. It said in the verses also, you are a prophet. This was an obvious observation from the woman. She was no doubt surprised, perhaps stunned, that Jesus had supernatural knowledge of her life, knowing that he could not have known that information on his own. verses 20 through 26 say, "Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, and you Jews say that Jerusalem is the place where one ought to worship." Jesus said to her, "Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. You know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship in spirit and in truth." We'll stop right there for this lesson.